I used to self-harm. I used to deal with these things firsthand. Everybody comes to me for the good vibes, the good energy, the laughs, and the comedic hour and all that good stuff, right? But even I have times where I'm just not feeling it. I personally have been there in my darkest hour, and have thought the worst of ideas, thought the worst of thoughts. Just inside, I'm just not feeling it. Talking about this right now, it makes me feel a little emotional. Like I can feel tears trying to come to my eyes. I firsthand again know how it is to not be okay, because I used to struggle with depression. I've been institutionalized. Whew, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry giving this message. What's up, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of We Listen and We Don't Judge, episode 5. We're at 5 episodes now. But if you're new to this channel, welcome. Glad to have you here. But just to let you know a little bit about what this channel is about, here on this channel, we're here to talk about things that a lot of people should start talking about, that try to avoid talking about. So I'm going to be the one to talk about it. Now, before we jump into this video, just make sure you hit the like, follow, and share. So that way it can tell the algorithm that this video is good and informational and good for the planet and good for everybody. And it can send it out to the people that it needs to be sent to. But also so that you can be notified every time that I drop a new video. Again, welcome to this family, welcome to this podcast, and I am glad that you have arrived and you made it here. So now that we're properly acquainted, if you're new or if you have been to this podcast already, let's just jump into this topic, because I really want to talk about it. And today's topic is, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to be okay. You are not going to feel 100% all of the freaking time. It's okay not to be okay. And I'm speaking from experience when I say this, because I personally have struggled countless times with depression, countless times with, the S word that, a lot of people don't want to mention. But I personally have been there in my darkest hour, and have thought the worst of ideas, thought the worst of thoughts. And for me, it's really uncomfortable because, I'm the bubbly person. I'm the person that is like the energy, the high vibe individual. Everybody comes to me for the good vibes, the good energy, the laughs, and the comedic hour and all that good stuff, right? But even I have times where I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it. And it took me a while to really come to grasp that it's okay not to be okay. I don't have to be turned on 100% of the time for society, for this world, even for myself. Sometimes you just have to take a moment by yourself and just accept how you're feeling. And whether that's sadness, anger, anxiety, stress, feel it. Feel that energy, feel those emotions instead of running from them. Because the thing is, if you run from those emotions, that's just like adding a brick on top of another brick, on top of another brick, on top of another brick. And the foundation of where these bricks are being placed is the most thinnest piece of paper, or the thinnest piece of paper towel, or the thinnest towel. And eventually you keep adding those bricks. What's going to happen? It's going to cause a lot of pressure. And then eventually those bricks are going to come crashing out from the bottom. And then that's where, you or somebody ends up crashing out on people, or crashing out on themselves, and then unaliving themselves, or harming themselves, or going out in the world and harming other people. Because again, hurt people. I've talked about this in another one of my podcasts, and I'll include that podcast in the description and leave a link for that in case you want to watch that podcast. But even talking about this right now, it makes me feel a little emotional. Like I can feel tears trying to come to my eyes, because I firsthand again know how it is to not be okay. Whew, I'm not gonna cry giving this message. And it sucks. You feel alone. You feel like nobody understands you. You feel like you can't even talk to anybody about what you're going through, because people just don't have the emotional intelligence to really sit down and listen to you. They'll either tell you to suck it up, or you're being dramatic, or get over it, build a bridge and get over it. move on, or they just tell you to just add another brick, just add another brick, just add another brick, and add another brick. And then not only do you have your friends and family that are doing that, now you have to go to work and be around whatever environment that is. And now you're adding another brick. You had a bad day at work. You work in customer service. You had to deal with bad customers. Adding more bricks and adding more bricks and adding more bricks. And then, God forbid, you have to go home and take care of kids. Adding more bricks. It's just, if you don't take a moment by yourself and just make sure that you are okay, it will catch up to you. It will catch up to you. And I'm not going to go into details about how it's caught up to me, but I will tell you, yeah, I've been institutionalized when I was younger because I used to struggle with depression. I used to self-harm. I used to deal with these things firsthand. And as I got older, I've gotten better at managing these things. And really what I have to really thank for the managing part of it nowadays is my spiritual journey. Oh my God. If it wasn't for me being on a spiritual journey and learning certain tools and tricks and tips on how to deal with anxiety, how to deal with depression, man, I'd be sitting in a padded room right now in a straitjacket, just rocking back and forth, because life is hard. Life is hard. And especially if you don't have the right people around you, life can be even harder. And I didn't have the right people around me. I wasn't in the right environment. I wasn't at the right working environment. It was just all bad. All bad. And I really had to say, self, what is good for you right now? What do you need? What do you need? And I'm usually asking myself this question when I'm sad, when I'm super depressed, when I'm almost feeling manic. And I'm like, man, maybe I should go back to the hospital, and maybe I should get on medication and all of that. But I've also been there. When I was younger, I was on medication for depression and anxiety and for my sleeping disorder. I was on medication, and that medication stripped me of my personality. I wasn't myself. Talking to friends and family, they were like, we don't even recognize you. And that's because I'm being pumped with medication to deal with things that I guess in some form or fashion, I'm running from. When you're usually sad, or you're usually anxious, or you usually can't sleep, it's because you are not where you're supposed to be. You're not in the right environment. You don't have the right people around you. So the best remedy to fix that, and I'm not saying that that's the case all the time, but more times than none, that is the case. And if you just change those things, change your environment, change the people you hang around, change the music you listen to, change the things that you're eating, change your habits, these will be better building blocks to getting out of that state of mind, and help you to cope with dealing with that stress, dealing with that anxiety, dealing with that depression, dealing with that sleeping disorder. It's just making little tweaks here and there, little tweaks. And then with those tweaks, what's happening is you're taking a brick off, taking another brick off, and you're taking another one off. I'm not saying your foundation will be completely empty of bricks. My foundation definitely has some bricks right there. I kid you not. I will not lie to you. I still got some bricks, but under my bricks is my spirituality, which is a very strong foundation. It's not, that foundation's not going to crack. So even if I add a ton of bricks, that foundation will help me to always remove as many as I'm adding. And hopefully I'm removing more than I'm adding. I think I have arrived at that point in my life because I'm here able to talk about it. So I would think that I've arrived there. I have less bricks here than I'm adding. And that's why I wanted to make this podcast, because maybe somebody out there needs to hear this and understand that it's okay not to be okay. You don't have to be turned on 100% of the time, 365, 7 days a week, 12 months out of the year. No. Anybody walking around this planet right now that's saying they don't feel depression, they don't feel anxiety, they don't have a sleeping issue, they would be lying out their teeth. Nobody is walking around here with a perfect life. You know why? Because life is not perfect. People are not perfect. This entire multiverse, it's not even perfect. It's perfect to a degree because God created it. But even within that perfection, there's imperfections. And that imperfection is life. Life itself is imperfect, no matter where it exists at, whether it's this planet, Pluto, Mars. There's going to be some type of imperfection because that's what life can be, imperfect. More so for human life. It can be very imperfect, especially dealing with the Matrix. Woo! Totally imperfect, right? The Matrix is a very imperfect system, very imperfect living environment, just all of it. Imperfect. So I just want to express that, again, it is okay not to be okay. And if you ever feel depressed, or if you ever feel sad, or that's the same thing, if you ever feel anxious, or just any type of emotion that is negative and low vibrational, sit with it. Sit with it in the kindest way that you can do for yourself. If you gotta light one up and get that green going, do it. If you gotta throw a few back, do it. Just don't drink and drive, or don't harm anybody. Whatever you have to do that is a coping mechanism, I'm not gonna lie and say not to do it. Do it. Do it. As long as it's not self-harmful and you're not harming yourself, then do whatever it is you have to do to cope with it. As long as it's not harmful to yourself or to others. I want to make that very clear. As long as it's not harmful to yourself or to others. But if it's something like locking yourself in your bedroom for a whole day, turning your phone off, do it. If it's having a few drinks, do it. If you gotta light up the green, do it. You know, if you gotta drive yourself to a whole different state and just completely shut out the world, do it. Whatever it takes, do it. Again, as long as you're not harming yourself or others, do it. Because the moment you do that, you're going to be able to say, okay, wow, now I can just hear myself right now. What do I need? What do I need? And yourself will tell you exactly what you need. It'll tell you what's going on, what's bothering you, and what's the solution. Yourself will tell you. You just got to be very still, and you got to listen to that voice. And that voice is known your intuition. And that's a voice we all ignore sometimes. Even I still struggle with listening to that voice. But if you sit still enough, that voice will be as clear as a whistle. And that's also, some people call that the voice of God, which is actually true, because God is within all of us. And your intuition is connected to God. So essentially, yeah, it is the voice of God. It's your higher self, and God is higher. So, but all you gotta do is listen to that voice, and it'll help. It'll help you deal with whatever is going on, so that you can get out of that state of mind, and then you can have the energy you need to return back to the world and be the best version of yourself. But if you don't acknowledge first that it's okay not to be okay, you're not going to get back to being okay. And you know, I don't want to make this a very long video, because for one, it's even painful for me to talk about it, because it brings up a lot of feelings. And these feelings I'm still processing, even within my own life, because I don't have the right friends yet. I'm not in the right environment yet. And that's just a byproduct of life. You're never going to be in the perfect environments, or you're never going to have the most perfect people around you, because life isn't perfect. And when I say I don't have those things just yet, it doesn't mean that they're not coming, and doesn't mean when they do come, it's going to be 100% perfect all the time when I have them. But what I am saying is, even when you do have it, and even when you don't have it, you still have to acknowledge when you feel a certain type of way about life or yourself or situations or anything, just remind yourself, hey, it's okay not to be okay. I don't have to be happy today if I don't want to be happy. Just make sure you're not bleeding onto other people, and you're energy dumping on people, and you're emotionally dumping on people just because you feel crappy inside and you feel some type of way. I also made a video about that as well. It'll be in the description there, if you want to check it out. But just again, remember, if you take anything from this video at all, just remember it's okay not to be okay. Do whatever it is you need to do to help remedy those feelings. Again, as long as you're not self-inflicting harm on yourself or others. And process it. And then once you process it, you'll feel a whole lot better. And then you'll come back out to the world and be the amazing individual that you are. But I also want you to know, if nobody's told you this today or in a while, I love you. And you are enough. And your darkest hour, it's not going to last forever. The sun does shine again. And you just got to take life one day at a time. And with that, keep in your toolbox that get out of jail free card, if you will, and pull that card out and say, it's okay not to be okay. Today I'm going to use that card. I'm going to punch it. And it's an unlimited punch card, which is the most beautiful thing about it. You can use it as many times as you want. There's no limitation. So remember to love yourself. If you don't love yourself first, if you don't put yourself first emotionally, how can you show up emotionally for others? You matter first. You matter first. You're the main character of your story, of your life. And you have to take care of yourself with that. So that's all I got for you today, essentially. And that's what I'm going to leave you with. It's just make sure that you take care of yourself mentally. Make sure that you be there for yourself mentally. Because nobody can be there for you like you. Because you are with yourself 24/7. And you will be until the end of time. You came in this world by yourself. God praying, the universe praying, you don't leave the same way. But you just got to always remember to check in with yourself first. Because if you don't do that, again, you're just adding a brick on top of another brick on top of another brick. And if that foundation is not solid enough to support those bricks, crash out is imminent. And I don't want that for you. I don't want you to have a crash out or have to be institutionalized or have to do something to yourself or others that you might regret later down the road. I don't want that for you. So what I do want for you is to acknowledge and say to yourself, when you have these feelings, it's okay not to be okay. And just sit with those feelings, organize those feelings, no matter how long you need to do it. And do whatever it is that needs to be done to come out of that feeling, out of that state of mind, so you can come back out and be your 100% self for yourself first, and then be that for the world. Because again, you are enough, you are loved, your life matters, but you have to take care of yourself first before you can take care of others. And one little analogy I will leave you with, and then I'm done. I promise, I'm sorry. But when you get on the airplane, the flight attendant says, in the event of this plane going down, I want you to put your oxygen mask on first before you help somebody else put on theirs. So just remember that. Put your oxygen mask on first. It's okay to take care of you first. It's okay to be selfish about your feelings. It's okay not to be okay. I'm not okay today. Oxygen mask on. Breathe in that energy, feel that energy, and then when you're ready, now let me help this person put on their oxygen mask. Because I have enough life in me, enough energy in me to help somebody else now. So just remember that. take care of yourself first. All right? I love you. I really, really do. And I really, really hope you feel that. And just remember, you are enough. So, yeah, that's all I got for you today. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like, follow, and share. So that way it can tell the algorithm that this video is good and somebody else might need this message. And the only way we can get this message out is if you hit the like, follow, and share so it can tell the YouTube algorithm that this is a good video, this is a good message, and it can do its job and send it to the people that really need to have this message said to them. So help me help others while also helping yourself and while me also helping myself. I love you. I'll see you in the next video. You know what? I don't like how I ended that video. It was sad and really low vibrational. It was we got a little personal there. So I just want to say we going let me bring the energy back up real quick. Let me bring this back up. I just want to say when you feel that way, okay, it's okay not to be okay, but when you feel that way, you be like, man, you look yourself in the mirror, you be like, I am sexy. Okay, I look good. Negative thoughts, you're not welcome here. Kick the, just sometimes you gotta do that too. You gotta be like, dang, oh, are these jeans tight on me or am I tight on these jeans? Whatever you gotta do to turn up, make yourself happy, do that. See, it could be something as small as telling a joke to yourself and be like, dang, dang, son, why I'm sweating? What am I sweating? It's me. I'm the bomb, diggity bomb. So sometimes you gotta do that. You gotta just like be delulu about it sometimes and hype yourself up. Because again, you have yourself. You are your best cheerleader, you are your best friend, you are your parent to yourself sometimes, you're everything to you sometimes. So that's where I'm gonna leave the video at with this energy now. Raise the vibration a little bit before closing the video. And yeah, I love you. Thank you for watching. And now I will see you in the next video.